Hi, this is Theo from PuckerBlocks.com. Today I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can make your line art look more confident. When I started out drawing, my line art doesn't look very good because the lines were wobbly, they were shaky, they will look hesitant. So let me show you an example of how my line art looks like when I started out drawing. It's probably something like this. I like to go over the lines many times like this, because I'm not too sure of the angle that I see from my reference. So I go over the lines a few times. It really depends on your drawing preference or the type of effects you want to achieve, but generally speaking, for line art like this, it's best not to go over the lines a few times because it can make your art look hesitant. So you see here, so this is probably how my art looks like when I was a beginner. Now, the first tip is when you're drawing, try not to use too many lines. Draw with one line when one line will do. Do not use two lines when one line will do. So for example, let's say I have to redraw this person. I try not to lift up my pencil too many times. I pay more attention to my reference so that I know where my line will end up. For example, when I'm drawing the hairline, I have a mental image in my mind where the hairline is going to end up. So it's going to end up somewhere around here. So when I'm drawing towards where it's going to end, so that I don't have to go over the lines so many times. Same thing here, when I'm drawing the hairline here, I know the hairline is going to end somewhere around here. So let me just move it down, move it like this, and it's going to end somewhere around here. So I don't use too many lines, don't go over the lines too much, and as a result, the art actually looks a bit more confident because the drawing is now cleaner. The lines are more, I would say the lines are clearer, so they read much better. And drawing the face here. So you can see the difference between this drawing and this drawing. Here it looks very hesitant. I went over the lines a lot of times, but here I draw with one line and I tend not to lift up my pencil too much. After you have a completed line art like this that looks relatively good, you can then proceed on to do additional shading or cross-hatching with your pen and ink. This applies to watercolor as well. If you want to create a flat wash of one color, do not use too many strokes to go over that color. So this will make your watercolor look more confident as well. The second tip to line art drawing is to close up all the lines, connect all the lines if possible. Don't leave any openings. For example, if you look at this part here, there are some openings here, and the hairline, I guess sometimes it's okay to have openings, but here you see some openings as well. But for this drawing, there are no openings, so it reads much clearer. What I mean by reading much clearer is, take a look at this. Let's say if I were to draw a cube like this with open lines, and I draw another cube that is sort of behind with open lines as well. It's not very clear that this cube is behind because the lines, they don't connect together. But if I were to draw these two cubes again with the lines close, first of all, they look better, they look more solid, and secondly, they look clearer. The scene reads much clearer. So now you see that this cube is obviously behind this first cube here, but in this case it's not as clear. So that is the second tip. Do not leave any openings. So that's it for today's short tutorial. I hope you can try it out and see whether or not it makes a difference to your art. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.